Suki says that, it's supposed to be ICE, but they're taking everybody, even those diagnosed with autism. They tried to take my autistic cousin from school. Yeah, I know, but since we got Native American blood in us, they couldn't send him to a camp. I mean, that is terrible. Um, James said, he asked what the name ICE, what does it stand for? It stands for Immigration and Customs Enforcement. Um, yeah, like this is a very, very weird subject. Look, he said they just stand around like the road construction crew. So dictator J.R. Vance have already come out saying it was a targeted. This was a targeted event versus ICE agents. See, there's so much misinformation about this, and I'm gonna let this simmer, guys. I've been here for like 2 hours, kind of like going over, like letting you guys hear what's going on. I'm gonna let this simmer for a few hours, and we're gonna see what gets susses out. And I'm gonna about 6 o'clock come back, and then we're going to see what they came up with. How about that? Because there's something fishy here. I'm not believing. I don't get where you have detainees get shot and then they say it's an attack against the ICE officers. They're trying to use other situations where people were directly attacking ICE officers and then trying to use those things in comparison to this. But the problem is that no officers were shot, right? And then they're using this bullet casing that the FBI director is showing. But if you actually read what he actually said, and I quote, "This morning, just before 7 a.m. local time, an individual fired multiple rounds at a Dallas, Texas ICE facility, killing one, wounding several others before taking his own life. FBI, DHS, ATF are on the ground with Dallas PD, state authorities. While the investigation is ongoing, an initial review of the evidence shows an ideological motive behind this attack. See photo below. One of the unspent shell casings recovered was engaged in the phrase anti-ICE. More updates will be forthcoming." Now, here's the thing. What is up with this new carving of shell cases and leaving behind shell cases, right? So the same thing happened in the Charlie Kirk situation where shell cases were left behind, right? So now in that situation, there were things written onto those shell cases. So is this copycat stuff where they're all just using the same tactics, using the shell casing, writing on it, and doing the same thing? How are they all doing different type of things and then doing the same shell case, carving things in the shell case and leaving behind shell casings of the bullets for the FBI to suddenly recover? So it says these despicable, politically motivated attacks against law enforcement. Now, I'm not seeing the attack against law enforcement. No one in law enforcement got attacked. So I think that people are spinning this to what they want it to be, but I don't really see, because I guess it says anti-ICE, right? So, okay, now if it's an anti-ICE and maybe one law enforcement was shot, okay, because he probably was shooting wildly and didn't caught some people that was innocent but was really attacking the law enforcement. But if everybody gets shot and this guy's using a sniper type of level thing where you can look into the scope and get your target almost exactly. If you're doing that and here's the thing, it says, so these despicable politically motivated attacks against law enforcement are not a one-off. We are only miles from Prairieland, Texas, where just 2 months ago, an individual was ambushed at a separate ICE facility targeted their officers. So it was their officers, not the actual detainees. It has to end, and the FBI and our partners will lead these investigation efforts to see to it that those who target our law, this is ridiculous. Our law enforcement, no mention of the people that were, so I think it's very, what is the name? I don't even know what the word is. That they are just completely ignoring the families of the immigrants who got killed during the situation, and they're focusing on law enforcement and not that the fact that these people were not law enforcement. So now it becomes, now their stories get just muted, and now it becomes an attack against law enforcement, and you don't have to tell the story of the people that were actually. So we'll see if later on it comes out that the people were actually in fact law enforcement. This seems like a exercise to me because of the stories are just too all over the place, and they have to like they're not they're like they just exercise gone wrong where they didn't even have like the stories how they was gonna come out with yet. Because why are we focusing on law enforcement when nobody in law enforcement? He says thankfully no law enforcement personnel was injured. So why are we talking about law enforcement? Why is it like about this whole thing said law enforcement about 5-6 times and nobody in law enforcement was hurt? So why are we talking about law enforcement when it was the actual detainees that was hurt in this situation? And if you're anti-ICE, why are you shooting the people that the ICE is bringing in? Why would what? So something is strange here. I'm not sure. And why do people? And why is it the same copycat thing with the shell casings being left behind? All this stuff. So there's something to this, you know. I'm sure they're going to try to tie it to the left in some way because they, you know, this whole they're trying to create this whole right versus left narrative, you know, and they're really trying to incite like a civil unrest, you know. And I hope that the Hispanic community and the immigrant community does not try to come together and start to boycott and not boycott, but do marches and stuff around the ICE facility and create like an even more like volatile situation. I hope that they are strategic in that sense because that's what they want you to do. It's almost like they're trying to create a trigger to like start off some stuff. And I think that this is like a little triggering thing, you know. And then you have like a community people that come, oh, we need to go up there and protest what happened because of whatever. And next thing you know, now there's some more situations. Now it gets heated. Now there's a whole thing. Because right now, even though the people that are deceased are not law enforcement, they are focusing on the law enforcement aspect of it. That the fact that it happened in a law enforcement facility, that even the people that were targeted, so it overshadows that. It makes it about law enforcement. It takes the story away from the people that actually got murdered, you know, and may they all rest in peace and their families, you know. Listen, you know, we have been spending this whole week talking about Charlie Kirk's situation. Now we have innocent people that were just detained by ICE and now they have lost their lives, right? And somehow they're going to tie it into some left versus right conversation when these are human beings that have children and families that love them. We need to stop with this lukewarm and like just cold-hearted way that we are actually seeing these things that are being brought about. Because a lot of this stuff, I believe, are psychological operations. I think Eddie Griffin is right. I think some of this stuff is acting, you know, because there's no way that these stories are being so convoluted and this early in the situation. It seems to me, even with the Charlie Kirk situation, like there were a lot of like speculative things, but you didn't see actual law enforcement actually come out and make statements this quick in the situation. It's 11:43. They began talking at like what, damn near 10:30, and the thing happened 4 hours ago. How long did it take for them to even say anything about what was really going on? Even though they took them a second to find Charlie Kirk's assailant, but okay, but still they had to do some more. You can't just jump right into just showing the case. We haven't even seen the Charlie. It took them a long time to show those casings. Like this is like happening 4 hours later. This is strange to me that they're showing this 49 minutes ago. This happened at almost 7 o'clock in the morning. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Less than 4 hours. You're already showing casings and don't have no research. Y'all haven't done no taken to a lab, did some fingerprints on it, see who wrote it. Nothing. How are you showing this quickly? Just something weird about this, and you know, I don't agree with how this thing is going. It's strange. But yeah, I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna like recover this, man. Make sure you guys like and subscribe this video. Please subscribe so you can see it when I come back on. There's something weird going on, guys. I don't trust it. I can't trust it. If I wish I could play Public Enemies, can't trust it because you can't trust it. You know, something is weird, and I don't believe it. Oh, thank you. Love your interview with Chief and Unk. Yes, yes. If you pay attention to the small details, exactly. At Suki, Erica had Charlie deleted. Um, there's X tapes of Kirk banging the baby sister. See, I don't know about all that. We're not going to go into that. Okay. Is this your theory? My theory is that I don't believe nothing that people say until they've done real research. And like, how do you just go up and find shell cases and then put them on the news? That's propaganda. You haven't done no like you are the law enforcement. There's supposed to be an investigation. How do you just throw this up on the news that quickly? Throw it up on Twitter. What kind of FBI director is throwing things up on Twitter 4 hours before after it happens? With no background check investigation, no fingerprints taken, nothing. They haven't even said who the person was yet. This is strange behavior for our like Federal Bureau of Investigations. That's not the way that law enforcement should behave. Showing this right away and not having any true evidence of anything, because they want to get in front of the story. And that to me tells me it's propaganda. They are trying to get ahead of things and trying to control the narrative so much that they're making mistakes. They're trying to influence the audience. Exactly. Propaganda equals influence. Exactly. They're trying to make sure that the narrative of, oh, okay, well, it could have been a right-wing person that's shooting like immigrants or whatever. They get in front of that. They don't want people to pile up over there to that ICE office and start protesting and raising hell. So they're going to make it a thing against law enforcement when ain't no law enforcement was hurt. It was ICE detainees that were hurt. That according to what they're saying. So how do you jump from ICE detainees to like they need to stop attacking law enforcement when nobody in law enforcement was hurt? Okay, so what I'm going to do is I've been here for 2 hours covering this. I'm going to just wait it out and then come back on when there's more concrete evidence. I don't like to just sit up here and speculate and have people are at work that they got stuff to do. I'm not going to just keep your attention just to get clicks and views. I'm going to come back up here when I have concrete evidence. I'm going to possibly also bring if I can get Attorney Calvin on to really get a legal perspective of what and how this whole thing is being handled, because I think it's very strange that the FBI director is showing shell casings and there has been no investigation, and he's showing that 3 hours after they find it. That's crazy to me. That is not professional, and it's emotional and preemptive. It's not emotional because they can't do anything. It's like that. They can't. It's preemptive. It's to me it's manipulative to show that. And then what I'm saying, because you don't even know if these are the shell casings that came out the gun, if they purposely placed that there as a throw off. No investigation has been done. There should be no reason why these shell casings are being showed. So, and that's as a person that has worked in the military, what I'm saying, and law enforcement. So all right. Well, with all that being said, much love. Thank you guys for 12 left wing in Texas last week. Yes, a lot. Yeah. So there's a lot going on. The political climate is very, very frightening and scary. And I pray for this country because it's a lot of people, it's a lot of kids living here and people, mothers and everything like that. And the fact that people are trying to call for civil war, that they really want to push this whole civil war narrative. They really want to fight. They want to use those AKs that they got stored in their little storage bin. They've been waiting for anarchy for the longest. This whole group of people that are militias and all these people, they have been begging for it. They want to use that. They want to fight. And it's listen, bro, I don't want to fight. I'm a mother. I take care of my kids. I bring them to school. Why do y'all want civil unrest and anarchy so bad? You know what I'm saying? What do you think is going to happen? And what do you think you're going to get out of that? So, and as much evidence as we've seen in other countries of how that really destroys a country and brings them into utter poverty, why would you want that? So there's something going on here, and I just haven't quite put my finger on it. And I just want to thank you guys so far for watching. And please like and subscribe, guys, because I got more content coming. I did ask you guys to join the conversation. Nobody hit the link. Okay. So I did put the link up. Now, if anybody wants to say something before I go, I'm going to offer that one more last time. Here is the link. And I'll stay about one more minute before I leave off of that. But if you want to come up and make a statement, come on, do it. But yeah, this is a crazy situation because that I passed by that place. That's not that far from where I live, so it's hitting home. Like, what the heck is going on? The end of days. Okay. The end of whose days, though? See, I don't really believe it. I don't get caught up in the spooky, booky. What's it called? Like the whole ideal of what is it called? Where the end of all times and all this stuff. The end of days have happened for many people over time. I mean, hell, it could be the end of it's the end of a lot of people day to day. You know what I'm saying? Everybody have an end of day at every different. So everybody got different ends of days. So I don't really believe in this whole belief of an end of the days where, and if it is, hey, ain't no we can do about it anyway. It's the end of days, They have planned for this way beyond what we've planned. So what the hell can we do about it? If it's the end of days that they're planning for, they are 10 miles and months and years before us. They have planned this out so far of the end of the day that what's the point? But I don't really believe in the end of days that there's one group of people that can just end it for the whole world. I don't believe that. Because I believe in the creator, and I don't think anything on this earth is more powerful than the creator. So why would the creator let any human being have that much power to do that? So yeah, even the spirit, if the creator of everything is as all omnipotent and all seeing and all knowing, why would any of its creation be able to end anything that without its sanction? So that's a whole nother story. We can have that conversation. Hit me up on IG, and if you want to debate that, we can do that. So I gotta get out of here. Much love, guys, and I'm in the stream right now. Much love. Peace.